everybody. Ryan Donally here with another episode of Beyond Two Bridges, Windsor-Essex Chamber of Commerce podcast. I'm joined by my colleague.
Matthew.
What?
You were going to say, I'm Matthew.
I'm Ryan.
That's right.
No.
You are.
Yeah, let's get serious about this. Today's a very serious topic.
The most serious.
Yeah, first of all, we have Yvonne Pilon on.
Yeah, which is exciting.
Technology.
Mm-hmm.
And we're about couple weeks after Fat Tuesday.
Yeah, 1 week away or past Fat Tuesday.
Yeah. So I think the theme for the Take 5 today, the intersection of technology and Poonchkis.
That's crazy.
Actually, I don't know how to do it, but
groundbreaking.
let's talk about both.
Well, let's talk about Poonchki Day.
Poonchki, Fat Tuesday.
Did you have one?
I had one.
Just one?
I only had one.
Okay, can I tell you something?
Please.
Probably a couple of years ago. This was in my larger era. I may or may not have had six
Poonchkis in a day?
See,
like the real one, Black Bakery.
I can't. This is the issue, and this is why I have to be strict about what I am now consuming for to make myself feel great. Is because I don't have any self control. So I have one, I'm like, that's good. I should probably have two, and then by the end of the day, it's like
two
six.
becomes four.
Yeah, and I'm hiding them in my desk.
And they're what, 800 to 1,000
calories?
They're
too many to count.
So you had almost 10,000 calories.
We're not going to talk about it, but it was a moment.
Okay.
That being said, I have a favorite.
What's your favorite?
Lemon.
Lemon?
Mm-hmm.
What's the OG Poonchki?
I mean, I feel like
there is an OG, isn't there?
Yeah. It's probably I know that there's there's prune and there's raspberry, there's strawberry.
Prune sounds like it's the first one.
I think maybe. I
mean, so. There's nobody that goes hey, at some point, let's just let's go prune.
Right. It doesn't go from strawberry to prune.
No.
I think it goes the other way.
I think people
around.
You start with prune and they're
right.
We can probably improve on this a little bit.
And that's probably with testing in the markets and figuring out what works and what
Poonchki people are
I think so.
Hard market
What about
studies?
custard? Are you a custard guy?
I don't discriminate against custard.
Okay.
I like a Boston cream donut.
All right.
So I guess I could do a Boston Poonchki donut.
I don't think that's what they're called. But
no. Other thing about Poonchki, who spells it like that?
It's a moment.
How could that?
Wait, but I know it's
Polish.
It's Polish.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah, I don't know where the letters come from. I don't know where to put them in their order, but it's definitely a tongue twister. Can I say something? So,
sure.
As we all know, I used to live in Toronto. Poonchki is very much a Windsor-centric.
It's on our board.
It's on our board. It's there for a reason. When I was in Toronto, I had to introduce the idea of what a Poonchki was to my friends.
Sell me the idea of a Poonchki.
Poonchki is...
Hi, I'm Ryan from Toronto. I don't know what a Poonchki is.
Hi, Ryan from Toronto. The Poonchki is a masterclass in the art of pastry making. It is a light, fluffy donut-like consistency filled to the brim with delicious creams and jams and chocolate.
Prunes, potentially.
Potentially prunes. I wouldn't lead with that for the marketing campaign. But no, honestly, when
you say light and fluffy, you mean it has low calories then?
Yep, it's the opposite of that, but that's okay because it's good for Fat Tuesday. I mean, I can ramble on if I needed to, but honestly, again, I was in my era of not caring of what I ate, so it was very much this is the best thing in the world. You need to eat this.
Well, I'm not sold yet. So where do you think we should take Poonchki? You think Windsor can help launch the Poonchki on the global map?
Ooh, I mean, I feel like they probably have had an opportunity to do that.
To push it out there?
Yeah, I mean, can there be more? Sure. What does that look like? I don't know. I'm not a Poonchki maker. But somebody out there is definitely doing that.
Hey, maybe we can talk to Yvonne today about how to use technology to reach the global audience, global customers. Maybe there's an AI Poonchki maker.
Listen, I know that last year there was a big there was a controversy in the Poonchki making world because people were trying to expedite a lot of Poonchkis, and then there were recipe failures, and people had to stop selling the Poonchkis halfway through the day because it was inconsistent. So there's definitely something to be said with maybe a development process to make it easier, more efficient.
Machine learning.
AI Poonchki makers.
AI Poonchki makers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we didn't really intersect Poonchkis and technology all that well today. Maybe Yvonne can help us with that one. So Here we go. Let's kick it over to Yvonne Pilon, where we can learn a little bit more about actual technology and a little less about Poonchkis. Yvonne serves on the board of directors for the Technology Councils of North America, TECNA, and the advisory board for Canada's Tech Network, amplifying the voice of innovators nationally and internationally. She has represented Canada as a G20 Youth Entrepreneurship Delegate and has been recognized as an emerging leader in startups and tech by The Peak. Today, we get to spend time with Yvonne Pilon. All right, so here we are with Yvonne Pilon. Yvonne, welcome. Welcome to B2B.
It's great to be here. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
It's going to be great.
Let's chat about everything.
Yes.
Speaking of, we just a couple days ago, partnered on an event.
Yes.
With you for International Women's Day.
Yes. We're really excited about that. It's been awesome. We know that partnership really moves the community forward. So it was awesome, and looking forward to doing many more partnerships like this.
Yeah, we all got to come together to help support this economic development ecosystem. And I think now more than ever, maybe not ever, but now more than last few years, we've got a whole bunch of leaders in the community that want to work together, enjoy working together. And I think anything that we do to best support business is what we got to try to do. So.
And I give a compliment to both of yourselves, right? As we look to, we're all dealing with limited resources. And so how we move forward is going to be collectively. And so I can't help but, examples like this, whether they're small or large, they do move the community forward. And they show this unified front that we need to be having as leaders in our community.
Let's talk about your specific business.
Okay.
Your company, WETech Alliance.
Well, I wouldn't say it's my company, but
the Regional Innovation Center.
But no, I would say there's a lot of co-founders of WETech out there, and that's a wonderful thing. So so I have the pleasure of being the president and CEO of WETech Alliance, and I've been in this role. Actually, I was employee number 1, but I've been in the CEO role now for I don't even know, since I was 29, so I'm 42. So you do the math. And we're an organization that I hope most people listening to this podcast have heard about. But in a nutshell, we are a regional innovation center, one of 17 in the province. So there's 16 other like-minded organizations across the province. And our mission is pretty simple. It's to help technology and innovation-based companies start, sell, and scale here in Windsor-Essex as well as Chatham-Kent.
And on the front page of your website, it talks about the network.
Yeah.
Tell me about this network that you're part of and what the RIC is part of here.
Yeah, and I think that's also, we talked about misconceptions, is that, we are a small team at the end of the day. We're a team today of 8. But what's really powerful and unique about our organization is that network. I mentioned, the regional network here that we all collaborate. We try to help founders and companies move forward. We're part of a provincial network called the Regional Innovation Center Network that connects us to 16 other organizations. We're part of the Canadian Tech Network, which is 30 across Canada. And then the Technology Council of North America, that are 61 tech councils across North America. So what does this mean for companies? It means if we don't have an asset or resource, a connection, we have the gateways to get there. So small example, if you are a company that came through our doors and you're like, I'm in mining technology. Well, as you can imagine, we don't have many mines around here. Not a lot of mines. I mean, salt, which is very important and in shortage right now, as I'm hearing, right? And so we're sourcing it all the way up from Egypt or something like that, I heard. But anyways, if you were in mining technologies, we would have direct access to our friends up north at NORCAT that have an actually underground mine that can be used for testing and innovation, and also have an expertise ecosystem that we would likely not have. And so that network is so important. And I think, when we think about just our networks as people, right, that's what opens up the chamber, right? It's all the people that Matthew, or all the people that Ryan. And so that's really one of our biggest differentiators, is that network across North America.
So you've been in this role now for a couple of years.
Yes, exactly.
How did you start how did you find WETech, or what were you doing beforehand? And first off, are you born and raised here in Windsor? Where are you from?
I am a proud Woodsley girl. And just shout out to Jill Moisiak out there, who's also another Woodsley girl. There's some cool people that have come from Woodsley. I am born and raised here from the county. Yes, I grew up, I shouldn't say I grew up on a dirt bike, but we grew up in the county. We played, capture the flag every evening and had a lot of fun. I went to Odette School of Business, so a very proud alumni from the University of Windsor, and fell in love with entrepreneurship in kind of like my later end of my education, and which led me to starting my own tech company at 24. I did that for about 2 years, raised a little bit of money, and decided that it wasn't the right fit for me. It was a very, very long sales cycle selling to academic institutions. But man, did I learn so much. So I take that failure as such a lesson, an opportunity to do things differently the next time. But it kind of just spearheaded or kind of spiraled on how I got in this role. And so I was working at the university as kind of a consultant, was told my funding for my job was ending, and decided to say, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? Like literally I'm out of a job. I had already committed to a skiing trip with my brother that weekend. And so I took my resume, I floated it to everyone I met in that my previous role. And somehow a wonderful man by the name of Stuart Sutton, who sold his local company to Qualcomm, came across my resume and said, hey, I was on the bus going up to Mont Tremblant saying, we have an opportunity. It's 3 months. It's to basically help put together an event where Arlene Dickinson was coming down. So they were doing a Dragon's Den style event. Anyways, long story short, that phone call led to basically a 3-month gig, which then really, I guess, kind of brought me here. And one of my first big girl opportunities was to help build out the grant application that then became WETech. And I say that I did not do that alone. There's so many amazing technology professionals and entrepreneurs who played a role in that. And so we are here because of tech industry. And I am here as a leader because so many leaders step back for me to step forward. And I'm so grateful for that.
It's incredible.
Yeah. I said that actually, fun fact, I said this speech almost verbatim when I won my Young Professional Chamber of Commerce Business Excellence Award.
Congratulations to that. Yeah. I never won.
Oh. I mean, listen, you now have the capabilities of creating your own awards.
I make my own award.
So.
It's like whose line is it anyways points. Anyways, tech business. We just had Chef Zuli on last week, and she said that you had helped her out, and WETech has been great, and you've been inspirational. For a business, and all the listeners out here, they go, I'm not a tech business. How can WETech help me?
Yeah. In the case of Zuli, we've gotten ourselves, or we've participated in a lot of programs that are kind of tangent to our core mission within the technology innovation side. So innovation is a very kind of very black and white. It's not a black and white description, right? And, in the case of Zuli, I think about her, like she's just a growth-minded individual, right? She's taken this product and now has every intentions of growing it. And so how WETech would work, with an example like Zuli would be probably program specific. But, for a non-tech business, I think too much is that innovation equals technology. And innovation isn't just technology. Mm-hmm. It's creating value in different ways, right? And so it's changing how you operate. And I think a great example of that is what we saw during COVID. How many people created innovative ways to get to their customer, to deliver their product, to understand, this whole new way of thinking. And so, when you are a non-tech business, don't just assume that innovation equals technology. It can be literally not necessarily something new. It could be an iteration of an existing process. So for WETech, though, our true customer is a technology or innovation-based company. And so we work across all platforms of technology. So we'll work with ag tech, we'll work with auto tech, fintech, clean tech. There's 1,000 techs. Mm-hmm. And on the innovation side for us, it's all about scalability and a bit of uniqueness. So if you are innovation, let's say you don't have a technology element, but you have a element of your business that's scalable and unique, right? And we always say unique could be protectable, right? Intellectual property, whether it's a trade secret or a patent or whatever it may be. So we want to play a unique role in this community to help tech forward companies and founders get to that next level by also noting that there's wonderful organizations that also support non-tech companies like the Small Business mm-hmm. Center. So we're not necessarily for everyone, and it's not about you're not a good fit for us. It's we're not a good fit for you because our programs are tailored towards scalable tech innovation forward companies.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
One thing that we talked about pre-podcast a little bit on the back end was kind of how you help incubate those regional products or innovation technologies. Are there some that sticks out to you that are kind of like the highlights of like over your career, what you have helped kind of grow into what they are now?
Oh God, is there you know what? I feel I've learned my lesson not to highlight.
Don't pick your favorite child.
No. Yeah, exactly. I don't have children, so I don't have a favorite one. So
I do. I don't tell them which one.
Okay. Well, and now moving on.
He's 7 and 5.
We have Ryan Donally here to share. Let's go maybe how we help companies really is different by sector, by stage, right? Think of a medical technology company or you're building a new pharmaceutical, right? Time to market is expensive and it's long. And so how we help companies varies. But let's look back on in the last 5 years, we're just finishing up our 5-year strategic plan. We've helped over 500 unique companies come through our doors.
Outstanding.
We've created over $50 billion or $50 million now I need to realize my numbers. But we've created a lot of economic impact from the money that we put into the community to the money our companies are raising. But let's go back the last year and a half and highlight, some successes, and I think that are really good indicators of the maturity of our startup ecosystem. Pixame just raised $1 million in the last year and a half. Optimotive's raised $2 million. So these are a few companies that we're starting to see the investment cycle come in. And for me, those are moments or milestones for our community because all it takes is one to hit to then reinvest. A great example of that is who here has used Instagram, right? Instagram.
Matthew lives on it.
Yeah, Matthew lives on it.
I'm on it right now, actually.
So Instagram, fun fact, April 2012 was how many employees do you think Instagram had?
2012.
No, 2012. So before they basically sold like I'm sure you know this, they sold to Meta, which is formerly Facebook. How many staff do you think they had?
At that time?
Yes.
I'm going to say 15.
13. That's good. 13. Were you going to guess 13?
I was going to say 7.
7? Okay.
So
only because
won.
you're like, it's like, this is a factoid.
Yeah. No, I think it's a good lesson in economic development, right? 13 employees. They basically built their startup in 18 months and got bought out for how much money did Facebook give them?
$50 billion.
$1 billion.
1 billion.
Still a lot.
Either way, it's a
right?
billion.
But what's really interesting about that story is that they probably were on no big radar. They weren't the big fish, right? They were a small company or startup. But think about 13 staff now are stocks and $1 billion in cash to split.
It's wild.
Right? And so what do you think they all did? They started their own venture funds. They mentored companies. And it's like this kind of wildfire approach. And so I can't help but think of those are the things we want to see in our ecosystem. Whereas entrepreneurs continue to give back to entrepreneurs, whether it's advice, whether it's funding, whether it's visibility. And so I'm really excited about where we are today. But it's a constantly never-ending road in ecosystem building. It never stops.
I agree. It's been, I've been either in it or adjacent to it for the last handful of years, but now in this role, right back in the mix. And it's great to see the collegiality. It's great to see the growth. It's great to see the opportunities in front of us because I think all of us look and go, I can see where this is going. Yep. And we'll ask you a little bit later about your vision for the future here.
Yeah.
But while we're segueing nicely into Windsor-Essex Iconic,
beautiful
here we go.
Windsor, beautiful Windsor. Windsor is a beautiful place. Isn't that the AM 100?
I don't think that we have the rights for that.
Okay, all right. Sorry, we're going to cut that.
Cut. No, I'm kidding. I mean, you've had some iconic moments in the city too. You were a thumb.
I was a thumb.
Do you remember? Does anybody remember when Yvonne was a thumb?
You know what? This would be a great little pop-up of visual.
Yeah, we're going to.
Is to yes, my claim to fame is I had my Carrie Bradshaw moment where I was on a bus. I had a ketchup mustache on myself. I had should we give the context to this story for our listeners here? So I was invited by Post Media. They were doing a campaign called, I think it was
At Your Fingertips or something like that. I don't know.
And so I got this request, hey, you want to be part of this national strategy? We're picking a few people in Windsor. You have to sign your rights away. You're not going to see what you're going to look like.
This is
always a good sign.
Cue the photo, please.
This is when they came out with an app.
First off, I'm very grateful for the opportunity just because it was still a big deal. I think the mayor was selected and I think either an artist or the Spitfires, I can't remember. But anyways, fun, to skip the story, they basically turned my face into a thumb. And I had long, curly, blonde hair. And again, this thumb it was on a bus. It was on at the mall on the tables in the food court. And so
it was great.
Multiple opportunities.
Yeah. Listen, it was maybe that is my claim to fame.
No, it's not.
Right? I made it on a bus. But not in human form, only in finger form. So what if you were the thumb? Was the mayor the other digits? I think at the time I was picked because of my business brand, right? So I really spent a lot of my early career personal branding, right, leveraging social media. I think at that point I was, trying to do editorial with the Windsor Star. And so, yeah, somehow I got picked, and I think I was more of the business lens.
All right.
So, yeah, it was a fun exercise, but maybe don't sign off your physical
your image and likeness. Actually, before we get into that, like, let's talk about the brand, the Yvonne brand. Like, I mean, you were, I would say that you were ahead of your time, or ahead of the time, for self-branding and, building your own personal brand out there. Like, now everyone does it and expects to do it, but like, you were early in it.
I only wish, though, I think about it often, as I was really early in my career doing it, because it just came out, right? These tools just came out, and it wasn't perceived as it is today, the same as when I started my career. There was actually a lot of criticism to the way I was approaching it. And what we don't understand with brands is brands are people, right? And so I would put my face out a lot.
Yeah.
And it, some people saw that very differently than, and I think about when you put content, I'm sure with stuff that you do, right? People want to see people. And so, but yeah, it's really, I think there's been a lot of hardship. When you put yourself out there, you got to be open for constructive feedback and criticism.
Sure.
But at the same time, when you can see the power of your brand and your network and your reach to help, again, in my case, I love, supporting local and entrepreneurs and made in Canada stuff and local, local cool stories. And so when you can see that your post helped, get a customer for someone or gave visibility to their event, like, who doesn't want to do that? Like, that's a pretty awesome feeling. And so
it's funny you say that, because, now in this role, the amount of times I'm out there is a lot more than I used to be. I took my Instagram and went from private to public. And the amount of folks that come up to me, friends go, I've been seeing a lot of you lately. In the back of my mind, am I going like, you should not see me this much? Are you sick of my face? Like, like all those things you think about is like, but we're in public roles. And part of what we do is help our brands. And part of the reason we're doing this today.
I mean, why do you think I
Here we
are.
There's obviously an opportunity.
Is allow us to build that reach and build that brand out there. And when we say something, then there's more people that listen.
Yeah. We're all a brand at the end of the day. And I'm not saying my branding has been perfect, but I hope, if, I always ask when I used to teach this in school is like, how do you want people to know you as? What is your brand, right? And I think I think overall, I think people would associate me to technology, startup, entrepreneurship. And overall, I'm a pretty positive person. Yes, I can be, I can complain too, but yeah, your platform and storytelling again. And when I think about startup ecosystems, storytelling is a fuel, right? Because, we've seen where local media, cover one of our company's stories, and next thing you know, they get a customer from it. It's just like, it's magic what we can do. And this is why, like, so much as I think is something we don't do well as a region is storytell, right? Why do you think a lot of people leave the region, right? I don't think it's because they don't like the region. They don't see opportunity in the region. And so much of it to me is about the narrative of our community and how do we help tell the story. And we are so blessed to, like, I think of the two of you, every day you're meeting new companies, you're meeting new entrepreneurs who are doing such cool stuff. But does that ever get to, the Odette School of Business classes at all these
working
companies?
on it now.
Well, breaking news. No, I'm kidding. But I think if we can change that narrative, we can tell more stories and showcase the great things that are happening. And so if you're a company listening to this, the best way you can do to support and retain talent is tell your story.
Yeah.
Let people
Beyond
know
two
what
bridges,
you do.
not between two bridges.
Yes. So
beyond.
it seems simple, but it is hard, right? And so not everyone is gifted with storytelling, but that's why, there's organizations like ours and like yours and Invest Windsor-Essex and Tourism Windsor-Essex, Pelee Island, who do such a great job at telling stories.
Yeah.
Great segue into this.
Okay. I was going to say,
this was all planned, by the way.
No, this was perfect.
Okay.
But again, I mean, you have been out in the community. You know Windsor-Essex really well. So
now we're going to crush some dreams.
Yeah, we're going to challenge you with making some people happy and some people kind of sad.
I'm not feeling sad. Just kidding.
So we have two categories for you to pick. Again, we are in the final stretch.
You're in the Sweet 16. You're putting people in the Elite 8
to be
now.
16 again.
Yeah.
Right. All right. We are going to start off in our drinks category. So our two competitors still left in it is Weiser's Whiskey versus local wineries.
That seems like so not comparable. One is like amazing. I was just at King's Coast this weekend. Wonderful sparkling wine. And then I'm a whiskey drinker. I love a good whiskey. So,
Hiram Walker versus local wineries, both strong
how do you make
drivers.
these decisions? How are you helping others decide?
Some people are cutthroat. They're like, you know what? This is what I like. And that's okay.
Julie said, I don't like
blank.
No, because
you can say
out
it
there now.
Yeah.
I don't like jelly-filled donuts, so therefore Poonchkis are out.
Yeah, but these are two of my favorites.
Right.
Like if you had a craft beer here, I'd be good for life.
Yeah.
We made you make a tough decision.
Let's pretend we have both of them holding, held off the side of the bridge, and we're about to drop one. Which one are you saving?
You know what? I'm going to save our local wineries.
Save the local wineries. Save the local wineries.
Cut to it now.
This is, you know what?
Cut to it now.
This was tough.
Cut to it now.
And
we're breaking our bonds. Look at that. This is our product today. We usually come to it after the break, but we'll talk about it after.
All right. Okay.
Yvonne saved Vin Winery.
Yes. You know, it's funny because if you guys know
Jordan Gore.
Yes, Jordan.
You brought it up a second ago.
Which is, you know what? This wasn't planned, but just
that
so you
was
know.
Planned. This is planned.
When I used to do my podcast, I did a really cool podcast with Don Livermore, the doctor of whiskey.
Blender.
Amazing man, and all the innovation and technology. So please, if you're listening, Wisers, this has nothing to do with you. In fact, I will continue to drink
you just
and
crushed
toast.
their dream.
Yes,
right.
I know. I'm a dream crusher. So you know what? This is leadership. You got to make tough decisions.
This is leadership
right?
101.
You don't always have all the data. You just got to make a judgment call. So
that's right.
Cheers to our local wineries.
Local wineries
Moving
are
on.
true.
Yes.
And
you know what? By the way, March Madness is coming up, which actually,
we're in the middle of this
stuff is planned.
We're in the middle of March Madness right now.
But no, Mac Madness. They do
Mac Madness.
a girl or what is it? Macaroni and cheese.
Oh,
tasting.
I was thinking Big Mac.
So it's basically a pairing of wine with a specific mac and cheese, and every winery does one. So if it's an amazing event. I think it's coming up sometime in March. So get your tickets.
Right. And we're going to also put you on the spot with products.
Yep.
So right now in our Sweet 16, we've got the minivan, the iconic minivan against Lafferty's Sweet Corn.
Okay.
What will it be?
This is an easy one. I'm going to pick the minivan.
Yeah, you are.
And for a million reasons. So many people don't realize there's 100+ innovations within the minivan, going down to the cup holder. And so for me as an innovation girl, I'm going with the minivan. Not to say there's nothing wrong. I was a corn tasseler in my
I made it 2 days.
Yes. But yes, the minivan.
Of course.
Done.
Well, that's fantastic. Okay, well, those were...
And do I get a minivan?
And behind this is a new car. No, there's no minivan, so sorry.
Okay.
That being said, we are going to take a quick break.
Sure.
We're going to listen to our sponsors, and then when we come back, we will taste what you saved, local wine from your friends at Vin Winery. So we will be right back.
Exciting offers all year round with Plantscape Windsor, an affinity partner of the Windsor-Essex Chamber of Commerce. Liana and her team are here to help you transform your space and elevate your workplace. Right now, Chamber members can take advantage of 3 incredible offers. First, enjoy 10% off year-round maintenance services, including commercial, industrial, and institutional snow removal and grass care, with a minimum 1-year contract. Second, bring life and color to your office with a customized tropical plant service featuring a free 3-month trial valued at up to $250 per month. And third, boost morale and well-being with horticultural therapy. This is a unique, hands-on experience designed to reduce stress and inspire creativity. With 1 free trial for up to 15 participants, don't just maintain your space, transform it. From lush greenery to stress-relieving horticultural therapy, Liana and her team at Plantscape Windsor bring life, beauty, and well-being to your workplace. These exclusive chamber member benefits won't last forever. Visit plantscape.ca today and start creating a space where people thrive.
Okay, we're back here with Yvonne Pilon on B2B. We've managed to ruin our surprise, but the segue was just too good.
Such a moment that it needed to happen.
Well, one or the other. I mean, once we knew Yvonne was going to pick between whiskey and wine, like it was either going to be a perfect segue in the wrong way or the right way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyways, here we are.
Here
Vin
we are.
Winery. Jordan Gore and his brother.
Wait a minute.
Ah.
Yeah.
That sound.
Beautiful white wine here.
Like a good Monday to with some wine. I'm liking this.
Nobody else knows that we're filming at 9 in the morning.
Yes.
No, I'm kidding. But they've got Wedding in the Woods. They've been doing this for a while. Serial entrepreneurs, incredible startups and tech, and Vin is one of their brands.
Yeah. And again, this was not planned, just for context on my decision making here. But yeah, if you are out at Vin Winery, one thing I love about their winery is they also cater to the night crowd, right? So as you're finishing up at some of the other venues, Vin is a great one to go in the evening. And they're also tech founders as well. And they are the founders. Jordan Gore is the co-founder of Pixame, which is another amazing HR tech company built here locally. And I encourage you, if you're looking to hire, to check them out.
Check out Pixame.
So cheers. Cheers.
All
right. I am now your third co-host. You heard it here, folks.
Hop on.
Right?
You can be the guest spot whenever you want.
I kind of like that. I want to get back into podcasting.
Come on, join us.
We were talking about branding earlier, and I really do feel like I actually stepped out of the limelight for a bit. It's been a pretty heavy growth journey in the last 5 years. They don't tell you all the fun things you got to do as leaders as you grow, but it's good to be back out here. So thank you for having me.
We love having you. Yeah. And you've been a community champion for decades.
I will continue to be. And I'm in good company. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm not that many decades.
That's why I said decades. A better part of a decade. I'm like, decades. I'm like, ugh.
I'm celebrating 150 years.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is that? Was it Elf about like the master tinkerers? Like, what's that? In Elf, the movie? He's in the mailroom and he's like, yeah, you're like my papa. He's like a master tinkerer. He's 200 and...
I thought you said Alf. Like
Elf,
the little one that used to eat cats.
Yeah.
What a great show.
The little alien that ate cats.
Flashback to the 90s.
I'm like, how is she going to tie in Alf?
He would definitely eat the finger, Yvonne, for sure.
That's right.
Yvonne, 100%.
So, I mean, we talked briefly in our break there about, Pixame.
Yep.
It's AI-based HR software in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Where do you see AI taking it?
I don't want to speak to Pixame, but, artificial intelligence, it's been here for a long time. In fact, most people may not know this, but Canada is one of the, has made some of the biggest progress in artificial intelligence. And you've heard of we're home to the godfather of AI. And so it's changing so rapidly. I don't even want to say anything because it'll be dated by the time this podcast comes out. But it's something that's going to transform industries. It's going to transform education. And so I think, as leaders in our community, we have to have, a conversation about what does that mean to our future talent, to our future industries. And I think as, individual leaders, how do we talk about this to our teams and our employees? Because there's a lot of fear around it, right? Where we're hearing this, AI equals job loss. And I think that's, something we got to get ahead of. And you got to look at it as, for us as an organization, we look at how do we use AI to better our mission? How do we use AI to help more founders, right? So much of our day-to-day is a lot of administrative tasks. So how do we help AI get us closer to our mission? I've heard one of my favorite podcasters talking about AI is that AI could shrink certain roles. It could keep certain departments the same and can grow certain departments. And so I think, if I'm talking to the next generation of leaders, is I think AI is now something that you need to add to your toolbox. You need to learn about it and interact with it. But AI is not just, we have to approach AI where there's still a human in the loop. And that is so important. And so, even, internally, we're looking at AI policies and how we use it. What is our kind of AI manifesto? But I'm excited. I've seen so much productivity gains for myself. But you got to do it with thoughtfulness. You got to do it with ethics and transparency and privacy. These are tools that are being built so fast. And this is why I'm so excited about Canada having a minister of artificial intelligence and putting, a big mandate in front of him to make sure that we're doing so in a safe environment. So yeah, it's something I think we all should be talking about.
And I love that it's tied to the economic development portfolio.
Yep.
FedDev, Evan Solomon is the Minister of FedDev and AI. It's a great mix.
Yeah, and we've got some great local AI, I hate to say AI experts because it's hard to be an expert in something changing, but we have people doing, the research side. We've got some amazing research happening in AI. We have amazing startups in AI, and we have great thought leaders in AI. And we saw that as we hosted our first AI Workforce Summit in the fall of last year, and we saw almost 350 people register. So there's a desire. It's just how do we do so thoughtfully? So I expect you'll see a lot more conversation around AI in the near future. So.
What's in the near future for WETech? What are you guys working on? Are there any projects that you can share with us?
I think, top level, WETech's actually is celebrating its 15-year anniversary this year.
Congratulations.
So, wow. Cheers. Perfect time
cheers
for
to
wine.
that.
And what that means is a new updated strategic plan. And we do that by co-creating with partners like yourself and community and entrepreneurs and founders. But when it comes to tangibility, something you can see, we have our annual Scale Up Showcase and Pitch Finale happening at Caesars Windsor on Thursday, March 19th. This is where you see 10 of the most fastest and high level companies that are going to pitch for a grand prize of $20,000. And so This is open to the public, and I really encourage you to come out.
We'll be there.
You guys already got a table with your name on it, but it is wonderful, and it goes back to something. And as we get into the vision of 2040 of like putting startups on the main stage and just their ability, back to Instagram, right? 13 employees and what that little company was able to do with that $1 billion. So,
well, let's run with it. You talked about Vision 2040. That's one of our standard questions.
Yeah, this is a tough one. And I was like, I wanted to go back and rewind all of your past podcasts. But for me, it's, and this, I don't think this will change. And I don't want to say there's a specific picture I have in mind, but it's a startup friendly environment. So I would love Windsor-Essex 2040 to be a founder first community, meaning that we consider when we build policies meant to be enablers, not, detractors and red tape. We're there to fund them. So looking at, angel investors, venture funds aimed at supporting financially those founders, spotlighting them, showcasing them, being their first customer, right? We don't realize the power of being somebody's first customer and what that can do. And when I think about regional economic development growth, and as we look at our region as Windsor-Essex, it's not just about the big wins, right? And those are wonderful, but it's, our core is to build a thriving startup community. And that would be what I hope in 2020. We're making steps, but I think a lot of it is I want to see it in the papers. I want to see it in people's, strategic plans. And I can't help but think of, where the region can be. And that's kind of where I come from, is I get to spend so much time traveling and meeting founders from all different parts of the world. And I'm going like, Windsor-Essex has everything to do great things. And I think sometimes it's just about momentum. And I feel like we have it right now. We've got some great new leaders, and we've been pushed to change, right? COVID's helped us change the political environment, tariffs. And so to me, this is the moment you put, pedal to the metal, you go full county mode in your dune buggy, and you just yes, and you just go, because we have to start taking risks. Playing it safe is not, at least I think we need to kind of look at a little bit more risk taking.
I like it.
More piloting.
So for those people who are hoping to take a new risk in their business journeys or their innovation journeys, how can they get more information from you? Where can they find you?
You can find us everywhere. So we have a wonderful a landing page. You can go to our website at WETech-Alliance.com. You can connect with us on all social media platforms. We also have a podcast called Innovation Alchemy if you want to hear the stories of some local founders and companies and technologists. Or you can always, as some people do this, DM me. But
I'm not getting anybody in my DMs.
Yeah. But, something we talked about earlier is about, feedback to companies and entrepreneurs. And at no point am I, the only voice. But something we see often with early stage founders is the falling in love with their product, not the business. And I always love to talk about this is that, great technology alone doesn't create tractions, customers do. And so often people just fall in love with their product without doing the hard work of understanding the business, right? And this is what investors will say. We're not investing in your product. We're investing in the business behind your product. So, as maybe a parting tip for founders is it is hard work to start a business and build that. As much as you can love your product, fall in love with the business side of your product. And that will likely get you a lot faster forward, I guess.
Yeah, that works. So again, question we always ask everyone, what's Yvonne Pilon's secret sauce? What got you to the leadership level you're at? Where do you think it's going to take you? And what would you say could translate to other people that are listening?
Well, I think my leadership journey hopefully is not done, unless you guys know something I know.
No.
But I think for me, and this is a question I think everyone looking for that magic pill, that magic book to change everything. honestly, when I look back and I was pondering this question, it came down to a lot of sacrifice and a lot of hard work. It was a lot of hours. I'm still working those hours.
Yes, you are.
And I think if people think it's just easy, it's not. It takes a lot of work and it takes sacrifice, right? You may not be going out every weekend to do, stuff with friends or family, is that you've got to get work done. And I think the other piece is something Richard Branson said is ABCD, always be connecting the dots. And I feel like that's been a bit of my superpower, is because I spent so much time building relationships with people and networks. I've been able to have this asset that allows me to connect dots. So people always come to me for something and I'm able to connect them with it. And so I feel like those are a bit of the secret sauce, but in a community like Windsor-Essex or a smaller community, my best advice is and as we're talking about building bridges, don't break any bridges, because, I'm always like, I'd rather talk about people or talk about ideas versus people. And I think the importance of maintaining strong and authentic relationships is important. And at the end of the day, you want people to, to trust in you, right? It goes back to that brand, right? If people come to me, Yvonne, they know what they're going to get, right? And so that's just, again, no big secret sauce.
No Chamber of Secrets.
But in the Chamber of Secrets, just so you know, I used the new OpenAI platform, and I'm a Gryffindor.
All right.
So,
I don't know what that is.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Is this like a new who you get sorted into, which house you end up? Me and my kids watch.
When I heard
Harry
like
Potters.
The Chamber of Secrets, I just immediately went to Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah,
I'm a huge
that's where
Harry
we got it from.
Potterhead, and so I went. OpenAI launched their was it Sola? I can't even think of it now because it's literally was the in thing like a month or two ago. I made sure that I did an AI video of me getting sorted, and I was definitely part of the Gryffindor Harry Potter crews.
Nice.
Consider me like a Hermione Granger.
Side the resemblances.
Just not a millionaire or billionaire. So
a strong thousandaire.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, we talked about where we can find you if we're looking for WETech support, but what about Yvonne, the brand? Where can people find you?
If you want to connect with me, I'm active on LinkedIn. I'm active on Instagram. I'm not as active on Facebook. So, but
Facebook's dead.
Yeah, Facebook is its own entity.
For me,
I am really sad.
Not everybody.
Yeah, I'm sad
Facebook's
about.
not completely dead.
It's not. No, there's a purpose for Facebook, but I would say I'm more of an Instagram gal than I am anything else. But I am still on X. I know that's probably controversial, but I built such a great following on X. It's so sad to see that go.
Yeah,
and this is my issue with social media, right? It's like your proprietary brand that someone else owns. And I find that I found it really hard when people are leaving X. I'm like, but I have all these followers, right? And I did that, right? And so anyways, but I'm still on X if you are.
I'm still on it. I don't
agree with everything that the founder is doing, but
yeah.
But yeah. Well, yeah. This was great. I love this.
You want to wrap it up for us?
Yeah, please do. Well, I'm looking at Ryan to wrap it up, but go for it.
Okay, fun fact. I'm an eagle. If anyone has done DISC assessment, I can sometimes pauses. I'm like, oh no, who's going to talk? So this is why I kind of jump in. So I'm sorry.
Me too. No, it's okay. I feel awkward when there's half a second of dead air.
For sure. So
we're going to allow
I'm just doing it on purpose
I know you are.
Let's all just stare.
This is great. Great radio, great TV. All right. And with that, we're wrapping it up with Yvonne Pilon here today, where we bridge between tech and the business world. So thank you very much for being on here.
Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.